Bill Nye the Science Guy. Bill. Wygy the Science Pi.
Set. I've captured Bill. Now I can twist the minds of young children. Oh, hello there. Didn't see you. I'm Wygy the Science Pi, and I'm an evil scientist. Follow me to my secret evil lab. Welcome to my evil science lab.
Where's Bill?
Shut up. Anyway, let's begin. I have planted 3 machines. These machines will produce earthquakes in 3 different locations. Now, this is just a warning. Do you understand? I will morph the world into an earthquake wonderland. I have hundreds of more, many more. I will send those out. They will devastate the world with earthquakes. Now, for all you leaders there watching at home with your mommies, peeing your pants right now, this is what you can do. You can go to the United Nations, you know what I mean, the meeting, that'll happen, I don't really care, and you will elect me ruler of the world, and then you shall all die. Good? Cool. Now, you're probably wondering why I hijacked the Bill Nye show. And you're probably wondering, wait, what's happening? He can't have all this tech right now. That's because I came from 2014 to the 90s, okay? Captured Bill. You're probably wondering, no, Bill, he's my favorite ever. P.S. In a few years, he's going to lose Dancing with the Stars for people watching the 90s, which probably will happen soon. About Bill, I might let him go, I might sell him for a ransom, or he might become my footstool forever, for eternity. Now, still, going on, you're probably wondering why I'm a Bill Nye show. Well, it's time to do a project. I'm 12, so I can only do so much stuff, but ruling the world is part of that, too. And I thought, why not have a campaign, go back to the future, and try to take over the world? That seems really reasonable to me. So, also, a lot of kids watch Bill Nye Science Guy, and in this video there are hidden sayings and brainwashing properties, and some brilliant-minded, very unique people can pick it up, like secret cell agents. And so, eventually, one day, when you guys try to overthrow me, I'll have followers. So that's why. Now, leaders, I'll give you about 5 to 8 more minutes to decide. Actually, no. I'll do a cutaway because it might take like 30 minutes for all you guys.
I'll call the cops.
Hey, wait, no. Wait, don't do that. What must I do?
Teach the children.
Fine. Well, the first place I'm going to be putting my first machine is the St. Andreas fault line. Now, fault lines is where plate boundaries meet, okay? And when pressure builds up, these fault lines slip. Now, there are 3 main types of fault lines. A strike-slip fault line, that is what the San Andreas fault is. And then there is the normal fault and the reverse fault. Now, the normal and the reverse fault are vertical. So, the normal fault is a diverging boundary. Is at a diverging boundary, so it goes like this. A reverse fault is at a converging boundary, so it goes like this. Now, a strike-slip fault is usually at a transform boundary, so these slide past each other like that. Another type of fault is a thrust fault, and this occurs under the ocean. Another way to understand fault lines and the reactions with earthquakes is Reed's elastic rebound theory. This states that rocks are very elastic, which they are, but not to the extent of elastic rubber band, but I'm still going to use that simile, or analogy as you would. Think about this. You stretch out an elastic rubber band. Well, it'll just be a rubber band. You cut in the middle, and then all that force is released. And you know, sometimes you can pull it and it snaps, you can get hit by the backlash of that rubber, and it really hurts with a fault line. There's so much pressure. And then when it's released, the energy, the earthquake, occurs. Is that good?
What about the other locations?
Fine. The next one's going to be putting my My other earthquake machine is a New Madrid seismic zone, and this spans from Arkansas all the way to Illinois. A seismic zone is an area that has an occurrence of earthquakes. So you'd see why I would put it there. The next place I'm putting my earthquake machine is in Iceland, where the North American plate and the Eurasian plate meet. There's the boundary.
Tell me about plate boundaries.
Fine, I'll explain about plate boundaries. There are three main types. No, there's actually not main types. There's just three types of plate boundaries. There's diverging, where it goes apart. The second one is converging, when it comes together. And lastly, there's transform boundaries, where it's sliding past. Very much like the strike-slip fault, because that is on a transform boundary. And also, transform boundary is usually referred to as a fault, so there's very many connections there. And yeah, you know, I like to learn more on science, photosynthesis, pizza. Oh, sorry, I ramble on sometimes. Anyway, let's keep going. The place where there's a lot of converging boundaries is called subduction zone. When plates converge, it usually creates a volcano or a mountain. When plates diverge, that gap between where the plates diverge, new crust forms. Very much your skin, when it peels off, there's not just a bone left. There's another layer of skin. Very much like that. Furthermore, when an oceanic plate and a continental plate converge, this creates a mountain. This is called oceanic continental convergence. Furthermore, when an oceanic plate and another oceanic plate converge, it creates an oceanic trench. This is called an oceanic convergence. Very self-explanatory. When two continental plates converge, they usually move upward or sideways. This is called, can you guess it? Great. Continental convergence. For the entirety of the video, I've been talking a lot about earthquakes. An earthquake happens when blocks first slip past each other, creating an earthquake, of course. There are many components to it. There are foreshocks, which happen, or miniature earthquakes that happen before it, okay? There are aftershocks, which are much smaller earthquakes that happen many periods of times after. They can last for weeks, months, or even years after the main earthquake. And since I'm in that science class that's watching this right now, I know that we went over like one of those gizmo type things about earthquakes, so I won't go too much depth about earthquakes, but I'll sum it up. They're measured with seismographs. A record of an earthquake is called a seismogram. The size of the earthquake is magnitude. Also, the way scientists locate earthquakes are with S&P waves, and one of those methods of locating earthquakes is called triangulation. Also, you might know that there's the epicenter and the hypocenter. The hypocenter is the source of the energy of the earthquake, and the epicenter is the point right above that on the ground. Also, fun fact, miniature earthquakes are always happening. Whoa, 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 whoa. Sorry, thought I fell. So, I just kind of came to an conclusion, and there's a fault in my plan. I don't know exactly how I'm going to know if I become world leader in the future. So, that kind of sucks. And also, my phone died, so I can't catch up on the CNNs. I'm wondering, the way this time thing works, technology, like the streaming stuff, is all in the future. So, like that. I feel like a really big idiot right now. Anyway, maybe I haven't scared you enough. Imagine the world's worst recorded earthquake. Chile, 1960. Magnitude of 9.5. It cost $550 million in damage. Over 4,000 people died. Now multiply all of that times 1,000. And that's how much devastation I can cause. And don't be mistaken. That won't be just one occurrence. It'll happen over and over again until you make me world leader. Got that, world leaders? Stop hugging your mamas and make me world leader. Okay? Also, let's look at the side effects of some earthquakes. There's tsunamis, which, if you didn't know, are when an earthquake happens in the seafloor, creating a tsunami, a big wave, you know, a lot of times in Japan or in Asia, like in the one in Taiwan. Not Taiwan, Thailand, my bad. Also, let's look at the locations I have chosen for my three main ones. Let's just talk about the San Andreas Fault. That's a 810-mile fault running through California. If you didn't know, there was an earthquake many years back, 1906, the Great San Francisco Earthquake. The earthquake's energy spread for 296 miles. So, I just got back from the future, and they're not accepting my offer. So, I'm going to take this jar of bone sick and awesome sauce, which is actually a button mass section, and I will. You understand? New people. This is history right now. It's happening. That's how time travel works. When I press this button, all that I said before will start to happen from 1990s up to 2014. So, I will give you 5 seconds. 5 seconds. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hope you made your decision.
Pow!
I'm Batman. And I'm Dana. Now, you must say sorry. Do you promise? Do you pinky promise? I promise, I promise. Swear to me! I'm sorry for threatening the earth. Hope you learned something. Here's a quiz to test what you know. What is the size of an earthquake called? A, triangulation. B, earthquake. C, magnitude. Or D, science. Good job. C is correct. Next, what are 4 types of faults? A, faults, earthquakes, seismic zones, and plate boundaries. Or B, thrust, strike slip, reverse, normal. C, normal, Saturn, Pluto, Uranus. Or D, I like science and doing homework. If you chose B, you are correct. Last question. What is one type of plate boundary? A, diverging. B, converging. C, transforming. Or D, all of the above.
Good job, Filth. Hope you liked the video. I'm gonna go get some water and probably see a throat doctor because I think I have throat cancer. Bill Nye the Science Guy. Bill.